Hi guys, today I'm down at Drive Sports Medicine in Worcester with John Chafe, who is I'll let you introduce yourself. What do you do?
I'm a physiotherapist and sports scientist, and I work with a variety of people, but quite a lot of golfers, from professionals to amateurs, trying to help them improve their game and recover from any injuries, or kind of identify any kind of physical limitations that they may have.
So guys, the last few months I have been struggling with a few injuries that has meant I've had to take time off golf, time off the gym, and been in quite a lot of pain for the last few months as well. So I'm just going to share those with you, a little bit about them, what's caused them, how we are sort of dealing with them, how we're treating them, and maybe if you've had some of the same injuries or are struggling with them too, then gives you guys some things you can do, some things you can work on to help them. So the last 2 months I've had a lot of pain and inflammation in my muscles, my tendons, particularly around the kind of top part of my spine, neck, shoulders, back. And yeah, it's not been very fun. So a few weeks ago, or maybe a month ago now, I had some blood tests done. They came back showing high levels of something called creatinine in my blood, and kind of poor kidney function basically. So for those of you who don't know what creatinine is, I'm going to let John explain to you quickly about sort of what it is, why it happens, and kind of how to get rid of it basically.
So with you, creatinine is a substance that's released by your muscles after you've trained and after you've exercised. It's kind of it's a natural process, and it's kind of involved in when any sort of tissue is damaged and then repairs. The kidneys typically filter that out and kind of clear that through your blood. So an elevated amount of creatinine in your blood can be an indication of kind of impaired kidney function. So can be either from like a direct trauma, or in kind of your case, the doctors were concerned about the amount of training you've been doing, not just from golf, but also all the other physical stuff you're doing as well. So it can be like an elevated creatinine can be a symptom of overtraining.
Obviously we found all this creatinine in my blood that we kind of think is basically from overtraining, from too much golf, too much gym, all the fun stuff really. So how have we been kind of trying to treat this, and what have we kind of done to reduce this down and get myself back to playing golf, back to the gym?
Yeah, so I think it's important to say as well that the creatinine was obviously a marker, but you also having quite a few other sort of issues as well regarding like tendon pain, particularly on the fronts of your shoulders, some other different aspects which was really affecting your golf and your training. So putting all the picture together, we came up with a plan of where we reduce your training quite massively. We worked mainly on some of the mobility issues and limitations that we found through full sort of body screening. And then since we've been able to return back to training, we've looked at the way you structure your training programs to try and prevent this kind of overtraining, but still get the gains and improvements that you're after.
Yeah, I've had to take a lot of time off the gym. I've still been going to the gym, but literally just doing like an hour of stretching and mobility work to try and really reduce that inflammation down in my muscles. I've been doing a lot of things like keeping ice on it, hot baths with like Epsom salts and stuff like that, and just like a lot of stretching. It's been so much stretching, and I hate stretching so much, and it's not very fun, but it does need to be done. So we've had to make quite a few changes to my gym program, to my overall workload on my body, to make sure that this doesn't happen again. So I will let John explain to you some of the changes we've made and kind of why we've made them.
Yeah, I think one of the big things with Mike was your training was very hard. So like you trained to a very high intensity, big duration, lots of sets, lots of reps, really push yourself, which is fantastic. But we almost used to like kind of rein that back in a little bit, because the two things: the overtraining effects and some of the health problems and the injury problems it was causing, but also you were probably doing yourself a disservice in that you were almost spinning your wheels a little bit. So doing loads and loads and loads of training, but not actually giving your body the time to recover and to actually get the gains and the the hypertrophy or the strength improvements that you get with the recovery in between. So what we've done is we've looked at the sessions that you're doing and almost shortened them quite significantly, but we're going to keep the intensity there with the weight you're going to lift, but instead of going for, say, a traditional hypertrophy program of, say, 4 sets of 12 reps, we're going to strip that down to doing 4 sets of 5 or 6 reps, but the weight's going to be a lot higher, so you're going to be lifting higher weights at a higher intensity, so you're going to get that strength improvement, but you're not going to be breaking too much muscle fiber down and just kind of spinning your wheels, like we said before. So that's should translate really well into your golf swing, because if we can improve that strength base you've got, when we start working on power, making you much more explosive and able to deliver a lot more force.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a huge change to my previous program. I was working more from like 8 to 12 reps, and now I'm doing like pretty much just 4 reps and then some lighter, more explosive ones. Might do more around 8 reps. And a lot higher intensity, a lot more focus for a shorter period of time, a lot shorter sessions in terms of the actual period of the session where I'm lifting and where I'm lifting heavy, and putting a lot less strain on my body as well. So I think another really important thing to mention is that this is all working around kind of explosive power in the golf swing. If you imagine like a huge lorry has a huge amount of power, but they can't go very fast, but they can move a huge amount of force, which in a golf swing isn't very useful, because it's all about speed, it's all about that explosive movement. Whereas if you think of something else like a Nissan GTR, which is super fast off the line, it may not be able to tow a huge amount of weight, but it's super quick, it's super explosive, and so that's the kind of movement we're doing. So when I'm doing these lifts, I may reduce the weight down slightly, but really be focused on keeping it quite controlled, quite slow on the way down on the lift, but then really just exploding up through the top of it. And it makes the lift a little bit more difficult as well, because I'm trying to move that relatively high amount of weight pretty fast and get that explosive power, hit the ball further, have more control, more strength and stability in my golf swing. And this is definitely already starting to help reduce that inflammation down in my muscles. I'm just getting back into lifting, which I'm very happy about, because it's been a very boring few weeks for me, unfortunately, and been very stressful with not knowing when I'm going to be able to start working again, when I'm going to be able to, what I can do even, or if I'm going to be able to start lifting again at all. So at least I am back to it now, but still a long road ahead, and I'm going to keep all of you guys updated with the whole process I'm going through to help improve my body, help improve my golf, and so you guys can take some information from this, apply it to yourselves, and hopefully learn something and improve your game, your body, maybe if you're injured, help improve that as well. Really hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. Please remember to like this video, comment your thoughts down below, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys soon. And go check out John at Drive Sports Medicine here in Worcester. Thank you very much for your time, mate. Really appreciate it. Cheers.